Spare. What is the definition of the word spare? Well, according to Webster's dictionary, there are many meanings when it comes to the word spare. Spare can be used as an adjective, it can be used as a noun, it can be used as a verb. Spare. Here are a couple examples of the meaning when it comes to the word spare. Spare can mean additional to what is required for ordinary use, not currently in use or occupied. An example of that would be a spare seat. Refrain from inflicting something on someone else. Being frugal. You will spend some money now and spare some money later. Refrain from killing, injuring, or distressing someone. I'm pretty sure that there has been a time in your life where someone has come up to you and said, "Hey, you got some spare change?" Or another example in your life, you may be calling somebody out on their bullshit and they're coming up with all type of excuses to explain their diabolical behavior, and you're sitting there looking at them and you say to them, "You know what? Spare me with the bullshit." In a rural context, spare refers to a second-born child in a royal family, or one who is second in line to the throne after the heir. The term comes from the phrase heir and a spare, and it historically meant the second child served as a backup in case something happened to the firstborn. So basically, a spare in the royal context serves as a backup in case something happens to the reigning monarch or the heir to the throne. Kind of like a spare tire. Yeah. Come on, let's keep it real. It doesn't sound too motivating or aspirational to be somebody's spare. Case in point, the British royal family. Look what has happened to their spares. You know those spares. Princess Margaret, Queen Elizabeth II's sister. Look at her life. Princess Margaret, on the surface, seemed like she was a very fun, outgoing princess that actually had a personality. But she was stifled, and she wasn't allowed to marry the man that she truly loved. She was told her whole life her only purpose in life is to serve and support her sister, Queen Elizabeth. However, Queen Elizabeth never supported her the way that she wanted her to. Princess Margaret ended up to be a very unhappy person. Reports are that she drank a lot and that she had various different affairs with different men. Due to Princess Margaret's unhealthy lifestyle of drinking excessively and smoking excessively, she ended up having a stroke and she passed away nearly 25 years before her sister, Queen Elizabeth, despite the fact that she was younger than Queen Elizabeth. And now we're going to discuss Prince Andrew, who at one point in his life was a spare to King Charles. Here in the present, in 2025, Prince Andrew, he was stripped of his royal titles to include Prince from his own brother, King Charles. Ouch! As royal reporters love to say, to be fair, King Charles stripped Prince Andrew of his royal honors and royal titles for good reason. Prince Andrew, despite the fact that he's been stripped of being a prince, I will always refer to him as Prince Andrew. We all know that he has been embroiled in the Jeffrey Epstein scandal. Virginia Giuffre, an American woman who recently passed away, accused Prince Andrew of sexually abusing her when she was a minor, when she was a sex trafficked minor. For more clarity, Miss Giuffre, she wrote an autobiography, a memoir, before she passed. And in her memoir, she writes that she was sex trafficked by Jeffrey Epstein to Prince Andrew at least 3 times. And I believe 2 of those times that she was sex trafficked to Prince Andrew, that they had participated in sex orgies together. Now, of course, Prince Andrew, he maintains his innocence. He says that he absolutely does not know who Ms. Giuffre is, and he's never met her, despite the fact that when she sued him, he paid her £12 million. Unfortunately for Prince Andrew, he was caught lying 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I don't know how many times. The U.S. Congress is doing an investigation on the Jeffrey Epstein case. There were 2 emails that were leaked, and those emails revealed, despite the fact that Prince Andrew claimed that he was no longer in contact with convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein, the emails showed that he was very much still in contact with Jeffrey Epstein. And there was another email leaked that showed that Prince Andrew may have used one of his rural protection police officers to dig up dirt and investigate Miss Virginia Giuffre. Prince Andrew gave this rural protection police officer Miss Giuffre's date of birth and social security number. Keep in mind, this is a woman that Prince Andrew claimed that he had never met and he did not know. However, he had her date of birth and he had her social security number. So that is why King Charles decided to go ahead and initiate the process of stripping Prince Andrew his royal titles, which include the Duke of York and Prince. And he's supposed to be kicked out of the Royal Lodge. We'll see if that happens. I don't think it's going to happen, but we'll see if it does. So, when it comes to the British monarchy's spouse, does it seem too promising being a spell? Does it? Prince Harry, undoubtedly the most famous spare of all time, decided that he would write a book about his life. His memoir, entitled Spare, dropped January 10th, 2023. The book was highly anticipated and was accompanied by several major broadcast interviews that Prince Harry done. The title refers to the aristocratic adage that an heir and a spare were needed to ensure that inheritance remained in the family. In the book, Prince Harry details his childhood and the profound effect of the death of his mother, Princess Diana, as well as his teenage years and subsequent deployment to Afghanistan with the British Army. He writes about his relationship with his older brother, Prince William. Wank! He also writes about his relationship with his stepmother and his courtship with his beautiful wife, biracial American Meghan, and the couples stepping back from their royal roles. And I also love the fact that he called out Princess Wiggy in his memoir entitled Spa. Now, Spare was a huge global successful book. Spare sold more than 1.4 million copies in all formats in the United States, Canada, and the United Kingdom on its first day. Spare broke all kinds of records for becoming the fastest selling non-fiction book of all time, which was previously held by President Barack Obama. Wow. Total book sales, including hardcover, audio, and ebooks editions, were around 400,000 copies in the United Kingdom during its first day, making it its country's fastest selling nonfiction book ever. The book sold more than 3.2 million copies across all formats worldwide in its very first week of publication. Wow. To this day, it is estimated that Spare has sold over 6 million copies worldwide. And my friends, it's still selling. Now, when it comes to comparing and contrasting the three Spares that I have been talking about, Princess Margaret, Prince Andrew, and Prince Harry, undoubtedly Prince Harry has had the most success personally and publicly living his life as a Spare. Just like his uncle, Prince Andrew, Prince Harry is a war hero. He deployed to Afghanistan 2 times. But unlike his uncle, Prince Harry never forgot his fellow soldiers that he served with in Afghanistan. And Prince Harry decided that he was going to dedicate his life by putting a spotlight on wounded soldiers, sailors, and Marines all across the world that have been injured, whether it be physically or mentally. Inspired by the Warrior Games, which is held in the United States, Prince Harry came up with the idea and called it the Invictus Games, which is an international sporting event for wounded, injured, and sick service members and veterans. Prince Harry stated that he was inspired after he witnessed the power of sport in the recovery of wounded servicemen and women. The word Invictus means unconquered, and the games celebrate the courage and the resilience of these individuals through adaptive sport. Unlike his uncle, Prince Andrew, Prince Harry found his purpose in life. His purpose in life was inspired by the 2 tours in Afghanistan that he did. He was inspired by his fellow soldiers that he served with that were tragically wounded either physically or mentally. Prince Harry found his purpose, which is to dedicate his life into advocating and providing services to wounded veterans and military families all across the world. I can give many examples of Prince Harry's dedication to a life of service that he provides through his different nonprofit organizations that he has either started on his own through his fabulous ideas or nonprofit organizations that he fully supports through the Archwell Foundation. Travelist is a great example of an idea that Prince Harry came up with on his own, and this nonprofit charitable organization has become a global success. Travelist works to make sustainable travel more accessible by collaborating with travel companies to provide clear and consistent sustainable information to the consumer. Travelist highlights flight carbon emissions, promotes credible sustainable certifications, encourages industry-wide change, focuses on multiple aspects of sustainability. Now, to some, that may sound like a whole bunch of woke, jibber-jabberish, environmental mess. However, Travelist is a huge, global, successful company. Their founding partners are Booking.com, Skyscanner, Trip.com, TripAdvisor. Recent additions have been Expedia Group and Travelport. Other partners include Google Flights, which is an example of a platform that uses Travelist's framework to display sustainable information. Other organizations that Travelist works with includes Global Business Travel Association, Global Sustainable Tourism Council, the Travel Foundation, World Sustainable Hospitality Alliance, World Travel and Tourism Council, and UN Tourism. My goodness. It is estimated in total that Travel List is worth $3 billion.
Oh my God!
Now, during the summer, I flew out to California for the 4th of July, and I changed flights in Dallas, Texas. I did see advertisements for Travelist. Now, another passion that Prince Harry has is definitely advocating for mental health. While Prince Harry was underneath the royal fold, Prince Harry, his brother, and Princess Catherine, they had started a mental health campaign entitled Heads Together. Heads Together was a campaign that partnered with charities to provide support for individuals facing mental health challenges, with particular focus on veterans and their families. Based on that definition right there, I know that you know that I know that you definitely know that Heads Together was definitely Prince Harry's idea. And to prove this, since he has left the royal fold, it appears that Heads Together is dusted and done. However, Prince Harry has continued on with being an advocate for mental health services for people in need. Prince Harry has definitely partnered with different nonprofit organizations that provide mental health services. A perfect example would be Better Up. Prince Harry, when he initially left the royal fold, he took a job, like a real job, 9 to 5 job, where he's partnered up with Better Up, which is a San Francisco based mental health and coaching firm. Prince Harry works in the role of Chief Impact Officer at the company. He is expected to have input on product strategy and charitable contributions. Now, Prince Harry has sat on panels sponsored by Better Up. He has interviewed famous people such as Serena Williams and even former superstar basketball player Pau Gasol. I don't think I'm saying his last name right. But he played for the LA Lakers. He was a famous Spanish basketball player who played for the LA Lakers, and Prince Harry had interviewed him. And that was a really, really good interview. Because Mr. Powell, he spoke about his relationship with Kobe Bryant. To be honest, that kind of almost brought a tear to my eye. It was a really, really good interview. If you haven't seen it, I suggest that you check it out. In regards to Prince Harry, though, when it comes to mental health, he has definitely made it a purpose in his life to be an advocate for mental health. If you go on the Archwell Foundation website, you see the many different mental health organizations that the Archwell Foundation has partnered with and financially supported. Recently, Prince Harry participated on a panel during World Mental Health Day, and the panel that he participated on was sponsored by Movember. Movember is a nonprofit organization. It's probably the biggest nonprofit mental health organization that's focused on ensuring that men get mental health services. Prince Harry and Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, via their Archwell Foundation, started a mental health initiative entitled the Parents Network. Now, what the Parents Network is that there are a group of parents that get together and support each other and caregivers whose children and families have been gravely impacted by social media harms. This is a network that you as a parent do not want to belong to. Unfortunately, these parents have suffered great loss in regards to their children. Many of these parents who are a part of the Parent Network have lost their children due to suicide. Their children committed suicide due to the harms of social media. If you want to know more information about the Parents Network, please go to the Archwell Foundation website. I'm looking at it right now, and it says that the Parents Network, we act as a support network for other parents and caregivers whose children and families have been gravely impacted by social media harms. We share our stories, we share our resources, we take action together. Very powerful initiative, the Parents Network. They do a lot of great work. Many of the parents have said publicly how much Prince Harry and Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, are very, very involved in the Parents Network. They're very engaging with the parents. Even on a personal level, they call the parents, they check in on them, see how they're doing, and they get them the resources that they need. Prince Harry and Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, they were honored recently by Project Healthy Minds, who presented the Duke and Duchess of Sussex the Humanitarians of the Year Award for their initiative, the Parents Network. When it comes to Prince Harry, I can go on and on and on about his purpose in life, and his purpose in life is service and advocacy for those in need. Prince Harry, the Duke of Sussex, is a humanitarian, a military veteran, a mental health advocate, and an environmentalist. He is the co-founder, along with his wife, of Archwell Foundation. He is focused on driving systematic change all across the world and communities through non-profit work as well as creative activations. The mission for Archwell is to unite behind the deeply held belief that compassion is the defining cultural force of the 21st century. Prince Harry, as we fans know, and even people in the general public all across the world know, has dedicated his life's work to advancing causes that he is very passionate about. He is the founder, the only founder of the Invictus Games, a platform for wounded and injured and sick service personnel to use sport as part of their rehabilitation, as well as Travelist, a nonprofit entity comprised of several of the largest online travel agencies in the world. Additionally, when Prince Harry was 19 years old during gap year, he co-founded Sentabale in the memory of his mother, Princess Diana, a charitable nonprofit organization that helps children and families in South Africa combat HIV and AIDS. And Prince Harry also serves on the board of directors of Africa Parts, which is a non-governmental organization focused on protecting Africa's ecosystems in partnerships with local communities and government entities. Unlike his great aunt, Princess Margaret, and his uncle, Prince Andrew, Prince Harry identified on his own what his purpose in life will be. Despite being born a spare to the heir, Prince Harry never fully accepted the context that his life's only purpose was to be a wingman for his brother, Prince William, who is heir to the throne. Despite being born a spare to the heir, growing up in the royal institution, Prince Harry never allowed the monarchy to define him. He never allowed the monarchy to pick his destiny and to control him. Prince Harry has always known that he is more than just a spare to the heir. And the British monarchy knows it too.